Any student researcher knows the feeling. You sit down with academic papers, and within minutes, you're buried under a mountain of dense, impenetrable text. There is a systematic way to process these documents. You can extract the essential data, build the specific notes required for your report, and finish a single article in under 10 minutes. This diagram illustrates the first step, recognizing what you are actually holding. A novel is written as a continuous narrative, but an academic journal article is a report divided into distinct functional blocks. Because it functions as a report, you should never attempt to read it word for word from the first page to the last. Navigating a long list of sources depends on a targeted data extraction strategy, rather than raw reading speed. Your very first filter is the title. Academic titles are intentionally long, averaging 19 words, to provide immediate technical clarity to other researchers. A well-constructed title acts as a one-sentence summary, containing 4 structural elements that define the entire study. Titles break into 4 categories: what, why, how, and to whom. The how and why reveal methodology and intent, like a randomized control trial to improve social skills. The to whom and what pinpoint subjects, adding in young adults with autism spectrum disorder. Breaking a complex title into these 4 parts lets you predict the content of the paper. This allows you to discard irrelevant articles before you read a single paragraph of the introduction. If an article passes the title check, the abstract serves as your secondary layer of filtration. This is a distilled version of the entire research project. The abstract excludes the granular details, but mirrors the structure of the main text, containing the same 4 phases as the full report. Every abstract maps into 4 quadrants. The first covers background literature, while the second explains specific testing methods, such as a clinical trial. The third quadrant presents significant outcomes, and the final quadrant delivers the conclusion. Locating these 4 parts in the abstract provides the final confirmation you need. If the results and conclusions align with your project, you move forward. If not, you save your time and move to the next paper. When you open the full article, you must avoid the primary time sinks, methods, and results sections. The methods section is often the longest part of the document, but it is written for peer reviewers and researchers attempting to replicate the study, not for student researchers. The results section follows, serving as a repository for raw, uninterpreted data, often presented in dense tables and charts. You should completely bypass both of these sections without reading them. Ignoring uninterpreted data and highly technical methodology preserves your mental energy for the actual insights located later in the paper. Step past the raw data and go straight to the end of the article, the conclusion. This is where the extraction begins. Slow down and read this section word for word to start your note-taking. You are translating unstructured paragraphs into a clean list of specific takeaways for your own report. Your notes must capture the significant findings and the broader implications the authors have identified for their field of study. If the conclusion references foundational concepts you don't recognize, or if you need to see the exact research question the author started with, use the circle back tactic. Navigate back to the introduction. The specific hypothesis or research question is almost always found in the final paragraph or the very last sentence. Connecting the initial research gap in the introduction directly to the final takeaways in the conclusion provides the context needed for your writing. You can ignore the technical noise in between. You started with an intimidating 25-page document. Now you have a set of highly targeted notes containing the exact information you need. Using this protocol, you can complete this entire extraction process in under 10 minutes. This speed is possible because you chose to bypass the 80% of the text that does not serve your specific research goals. Apply this systematic extraction protocol to the remaining articles in your bibliography. This targeted extraction protocol transforms the research process from a multi-hour ordeal into a series of